Assalamu alaikum, Gambia. Good afternoon. We're happy to welcome you to yet another episode of our favorite program, of your favorite program, I would say. It's on educational development, which comes your way each and every Tuesday. Today with me, I have a special guest, a mother to all of us. She is a very prominent person. Um, she will get to introduce herself more, but the little that I can say about her is she has contributed immensely in the education sector of the Gambia because she is one person that has impacted change in so many ways. She has done so many things for the education department and other sectors that she will get to tell us more about in our interview. So this is me, Raki Jallo, your host, and we are happy that we are having Auntie Sukai with us here. Auntie Sukai, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Raki.
Yes,
I hope you're okay. Viewers.
Okay.
I am okay.
Thank you.
My name is Sukai Mbye Bojang. I retired as a civil servant and head of the Gambia National Commission for UNESCO in 2012. I took voluntary retirement because I've been so involved in writing books. I thought it was about time to concentrate on what I love doing.
Okay.
So I retired. And with my husband, we had already set up a publishing company. So I just went into the publishing company with my two sons.
Okay.
I have always been somebody who is very much interested in culture and education.
Yeah.
Way back when I was at Methodist Preparatory School, I used to act, especially during Christmas. I don't know why I used to act as Mary with the baby and singing. Perhaps that has been something that continued with me until I went to high school. Then during English classes, I would either write a story or a play. The other thing was, because I lived somewhere that was very quiet, I used to read a lot.
Okay.
And my mother was a teacher.
Yeah.
And she made sure she gave us a lot of books.
Yeah.
And we were members of the National
Library.
So reading became a passion. And once you read, you start like writing.
Yes.
And I was a good history student as well.
Okay.
Maybe that is why I like culture. I like singing a lot. Most of my stories has singing.
Yeah.
And I like stories. I like storytelling.
Yeah.
We started writing in 1986. And the first books we wrote, my husband and I, Dembo Fanta Bojang, we were the co-authors.
Okay.
We did the books for common entrance. At the time, a lot, you cannot transit from grade 6 to 7
without
sitting to the common entrance and passing.
Yeah.
That was where we started. And we had books for the all 4 core subjects. Then gradually we went into writing mock tests. And at the time there were CCF schools that had sponsorship, and they used to patronize us. We will do all what is required, draw up the questions, print them, seal them, and deliver them the eve of the exams. That way, nothing leaked. And then afterwards, we will send the answers. It worked very well.
Yeah, it did.
And that was a foundation for us. And a lot of people knew about our books.
Especially the common entrance books.
Exactly.
They're very popular.
Exactly.
They're very popular.
So when they stopped common entrance, we realized that there was need to move on to others. And we came up with a whole series for mathematics, grade 1 to 9. We did some for English, social and environmental studies. And then we started the science, the basic ones. So you'll see that although we haven't done everything on English, we have from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4.
Yeah.
And then we did upper basic.
Yes.
When we had COVID, we came up with workbooks for all the 4 core subjects. English,
that are taught in the school.
Mathematics, science,
and SES.
SES, and we have integrated studies as well.
Now.
Yeah, so these are the areas we operate in.
Okay.
Also, we have storybooks.
Storybooks, yeah.
Which narrate the tales of the past.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is the Gambian folk tales.
Yeah, Gambian
we have stories from all the major
languages.
tribes, and all of them have been published. But now we have one more, which we should release later on this year.
Okay, we are anticipating for that.
Yeah,
yeah. That is just to say, Auntie Sukai, together with Mr. Dembo, these people are no strangers to us that went through their books, that have passed through the generation that was using their books. I don't know about now, but for us that benefited from their common entrance books, my book, the one that my dad gave me, is still with me, and my son is using it. Yes, the one, I'm proud to say that. I still have it. Uncle Dembo knows. Yes, so he knows that we have those books still with us. And this is just to say that Uncle Dembo, together with Auntie Sukai, are no small people in the education system of the country. They've contributed their quota, and it's high time we showcase what they've done for us so that our children and the generations to come can know who are the major contributors and the change makers in our development of the country. That's the reason why we have Auntie Sukai today here. Now, before we go any further, we want to know from Auntie Sukai what and who inspired her, who in particular inspired her to be a writer. Because she's no small writer, we know that already.
Yes.
Yes, she's a senior writer.
Thank you very much, Raki.
Yeah.
One thing I know is my mom.
She has been your push factor.
Yes.
Because she introduced you to books.
She introduced me to books. And every single writer, any person who wants to write, you must be a reader.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You have to read.
Yeah, that's true.
And for her, maybe she was driven by the fact that, number one, she's a teacher.
Yes.
Number two, she used to hold classes, private classes at our home, free of charge.
Free of charge. Studies.
To her students, so that they pass exams.
They pass exams.
And although some of them may not be around, but she used to look back and say, I am satisfied.
That I've impacted.
That I've impacted.
Yeah.
And she has impacted on us.
That's the pride of every teacher.
Yeah, because she made sure we used to read. And you will read until you sleep.
Yes.
That was the way we used to do it. And once you read, you want to write.
Yeah, you want to
write. Because you've gained a lot of experience.
You build interest in writing.
And you have a foundation.
Yes.
To write what you think about.
Yes.
It stimulates the mind.
Yeah, it inspires you.
Yeah.
What you read is what you want to write.
Yes, thank you. And that is one thing I believe Gambians and the education sector should make sure that our children read.
And the reading problem is a major challenge.
Thank you.
That's the
you
major
are
challenge.
A teacher.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
From experience, I know that reading is our problem.
It is.
Because when you go to the tertiaries and you find the students in the tertiary education system not being able to read, you know that the problem started from a long way.
Yes.
Yeah, because the reading habit is not there. We don't develop the culture of reading at the grassroots. So you develop in that manner So much so that when you go to tertiary, even for you to read something is a problem.
It is a problem.
I can attest to that.
It is a problem.
It is
and
a
that
problem.
is something, that's one issue
that
the system, education system,
needs to address.
should address.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not that I'm a writer, because I do writing, and now we've gone to this stage where our books have gone to African book collectives, Amazon, and we are looking forward to,
as I said,
going
you people
to the
are not
traditional
small writers.
writers.
You people are big writers.
Yeah, we want to go to the traditional publishers as well.
I understand.
So, Ministry of Basic Education, if they want our children to pass their exams, they should focus on it. Look at the results of the last senior secondary school. The WAS.
The WAS wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good, and that should make the sector look back on what they are doing. It's not criticism.
Yes.
You take constructive criticism
it's good to criticize.
and improve on your services.
Yes,
that is what they should.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Something needs to be done in the reading habit of the students, because reading is key in every subject. If you cannot read, you cannot do any subject. It's not only English. Reading does not only stop at English language. The English language is the mode of instruction in every language. So if you cannot read, you cannot do the instruction in any exams.
You can.
So that's obvious. You're right about that. So my next question to you, Auntie Sukai, is what has been your area of focus in your writing career? Your main area of focus, aside from the common entrance books that I've seen and the other materials that I've seen that I've seen in the education system, because my dad was a head teacher too, so I got access to your books from his office. I saw them lying there, and I could see Dembo Fanta Bojang on it and Sukai Mbye Bojang on it, and that thing stayed on my mind all these years. And those books are the ones that I'm forcing my kids to read now, because I know they're of substance. If those books were to stay in the system still, we wouldn't be talking about this now. But because of the fact that those books phased out, we are looking into more foreign books now than the books that you guys wrote and other people that are of Gambian nationality wrote. We having problems. You know, sometimes when you speak, they feel that you're criticizing or something, as you say. But one needs to take criticism constructively too. You take it to be a push factor for you to do more. So that is one question that I'm asking you. What has been your area of focus in writing?
We, as I said earlier, have been looking at the core subjects.
Okay.
English, mathematics, social and environmental studies, and science.
Okay.
Dembo Fanta Bojang and myself, we do the English, mathematics, and social and environmental studies.
Okay.
Because, of course, I'm a historian.
Yeah,
it's
you're a
easy
historian.
to
Yeah,
do
that will apply.
Then the science, we have somebody that does science.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
We used to have agricultural science as well. We have an author who does that.
Okay.
But he's revising his books, and we hope when he's ready, he'll come forward.
Okay.
So we've been doing the core subjects.
Okay.
But then I like stories.
Stories.
I like to tell stories.
Yeah.
And that is why in the beginning, Mr. Bojang used to come with me to collect and then transcribe. But he's more of the academic type.
Yes.
He just wants to concentrate on the mathematics and the workbooks. And I, apart from my English and SES, I love the stories.
Yeah.
That's why I've come up. He does, when I write, we do swap editing.
Okay.
Before it leaves our office. So once I write the book or the stories, I give them to him, and then he proofreads and does some amount of substantive editing. He'll say, okay, why don't you look at this idea? Why don't you change this?
Yes.
You're repeating yourself and so forth. So he does some, for us, the editing, substantive editing.
Okay.
And then I go to my a very close cousin of mine, Abdul Mbye, who used to be the Director General of Gambia National Library Service Authority.
Okay,
And
Mr. Mbye.
Yes, Mr. Mbye.
I know him.
And he does proofreading.
Yeah.
But we don't stop there for stories.
Yeah.
I have somebody in UK, Gary Tolkien.
Okay.
He has an editing farm.
Oh.
And that's the last place I go to
Okay.
before we do our layout.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
But you pay.
I know.
And it's expensive.
It doesn't go free.
No.
It's very expensive.
It is expensive because the last time I think he was saying £17 per page.
Yeah. Editing is not for free.
No, it's
even
not for
in the
free.
Gambia, it's not for free.
It's not for free.
I've gone through editing.
I know it is expensive.
Yeah, it is. So, but it's worth it.
It's worth it
because it's something that is going out there and it's there to stay for centuries.
Yeah.
And for generations to come, for them to benefit on it. So it has to be something substantial.
It has to be good.
Yeah. So that at least the language does not have anything that would give us problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our other question, Auntie Sukai, is you co-authored some educational textbooks with your husband, like the one that I'm telling you about. My grade 2 son is using. It's a grade 2 people's book, but you look into the pages, it's very rich. It has all the diagrams and they are picturing, they're in color and all that. That is one thing I like about that book because it's like how he's seeing them in real life. That's how
They bought a buffer.
Okay.
After 2011, that was when they had a project with GPE, Global Partnership in Education.
Okay.
After that, there's not been any project, and they've not been buying. But private schools have been buying from us.
Okay.
Yeah. If the public school has exhausted all the books that they bought from us, but the private schools continue to buy our books.
Yeah.
And for that, we're grateful that there are some Gambians that remember our contribution in education.
Yes.
And they still come to us.
Yes.
For example, now there are no textbooks in the schools. The core books...
the old foreign books. I know about it.
They are not here. The core books are not here.
They are not.
And people are buying our books. So whenever you look at things, there's always a plus for you.
Yes, there is.
God will open another window for you.
Yeah,
and Alhamdulillah, we still have them in private schools if government is not buying their books.
So it's just a wake-up call for the government to look into that aspect. It's not something that we are trying to say it's bad, but it's how to put it, I don't know. It's good to support your own. That's how I call it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to support your own because these are very own veteran educationists, herself and her husband, Uncle Dembo. These people, if you don't know them, maybe you have not read their books. Because Dembo Fanta Bojang is no stranger to our generation and even the younger generation. Like, as you said, the private schools are buying. Because this book that I'm talking about, the reason why I'm particular about the book, in fact, is the book that prompted me to reach out to you, to have you on our show. I keep on seeing the book. And every time Muhammad is on studies, I'll go into the pages and I'll be impressed. And I'll be like, these are the kind of books that needs to stay in the system. So it's a wake-up call for the government to retain these books. For government schools. It's not only the private schools, but for government schools. Private schools are doing their quota. The government should also throw in their effort in trying to showcase and trying to promote and support our own. So that at least it's not of losses to anybody. It's a win-win. They support and then our children gain. Because I have my kid in the public school, not in a private school. Somebody else also have their kids in the public school. And those schools, if they're not using these books, it's like they're losing a lot. They're losing big deal. So one needs to check into that too, to try to bring back those books. For me, it's a personal appeal from me. I don't know I don't know how big the appeal can go or how far it can go. But for me personally, if I could have access to the people in authority to bring back those books, I will tell them to do so. Because those books, they're very rich. They're very, very rich.
Let me tell you something, Raki. What motivated the former Minister of Basic Education, Fatulamin Fai, and Mr. Babkar Boy?
Yes.
we attended an African Ministers of Education meeting
Okay.
in Algeria
Okay.
in 2004, I think. And there was a resolution by the Ministers of Education that they should support local writers. Even if they have issues about quality, there's a way that can be addressed.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Basic Education has their curriculum unit that reviews books.
Yes.
And it is for them to make sure that the content is adequate or satisfactory for the school system.
Yeah. It goes
So
through
there are measures to ensure that only quality goes into the system.
You're right.
Because the core books that are produced by government are not adequate.
They are not.
They don't teach each subject in depth because of maybe they have financial constraints.
You're right.
But the writer has time.
Yes.
The writer has been doing it for quite a while.
Yes, they have experience.
They have experience. Whether it's us, whether it's the young people coming up, the point is, it is their interest, it is their name, they want to do their best.
Yes.
If you find out that their best is not your best,
yes,
then tell them to change.
Yes, you're right.
And that is what the curriculum department does. But if you say, history teacher come, maths teacher come, English graduate come, and then you say you're bringing together a book, there are bound to be problems. And they've seen that.
Yes, because they are of different areas.
Exactly.
So they must, it's even a must, they must have conflict of thoughts and ideas.
Exactly.
So that's the problem.
So the one who can do, if you have a writer, give that writer to write.
Yeah.
If you have an electrician, give the electrician to do your wiring. And let's not try to mix
things. Yeah, you're right. That's how things should be. So my next question to you is, do you think the use of foreign books in our literature syllabus is helpful?
They say in Wolof, if you don't know where you are going,
get back to where you're coming from.
Thank you.
That's very true.
Before you start...
Exactly.
Balanga wax affaire Nigeria. Nga xam affaire Gambia bi nga dëkka afi nga sosoo xam ko keneen du la wax keneen waruta ñëw di la wax sa konco.
Very good.
waaye nag ñun loolu lañ gis te dañ war a improve. Am nañ independence since 1965. ñu doon move forward. buñ dellu gannaaw. te soo demee di jox Gambian si ñuy study affaire Nigeria seen civil war ba pare yow laajtewuloo affaire Gambia naka la nit ñi sosoo lan lañ doon def indi past seen practices dangaa réer te ñun loolu lañ bañ.
waaw si loolu lañ nekk nii sax loolu la de so moo tax yéen nag loolu ngeen nekk di fight.
ñun nag dinañ def suñu waala duñ seet kenn li suñu waala dinañ ko def waaye it depends on nag nit ñi
waaw dëgg la.
while one thing dinaa wax ne the Gambian public dëgga fàttaleku nañ ñu te ñun ñoo patronise xam nañ ne dañ dee try pour jox leen di best kenn nag nekkut 100%. waaye every day ñu ñëpp dañoo improve. government bee ñu war a jàppale. education sector bi dafa war a jàppale. koo xam ne mu ngi jéem a binda. am nañ ay associations. nañ leen lifin waaye soo waxee ne teacher bi ci classroom bi di teach grade 10. su bindee book moom lañ war a use. dinañ am ci wax ja because man gis naa book boo xam ne dañ ko base ci ñun suñ SES book 7 and 8 teacher binda ko te ñu ngi koo jënda yooyu la yëpp gis naa kii nakaati Patience Godwin Sonko moom itam mu am problème boobu ñu jël book sami
te loolu plagiarization la
exactly waaye
nekkul di jox credit to the original writers
te joxu ko sax
so that's not done
non
yooyu yëpp dañ ko war a régler curriculum ñoo war a régler loolu noonu
curriculum nañ seet bu nit di bu nangu kenn di jël buggi keneen di ko liggéey
binda def si seen tur di ko jaayaat
déedéet loolu correct
waaw so that will also
that's one thing
that they should look into because that's not done. How can you take somebody's work? That's plagiarization.
It's plagiarization.
You cannot take somebody's work and make it yours and try to sell those notes as your notes just in the name of making money.
Yeah.
When the original writers are there,
exactly,
they are not being given any credit for it. That's not fair.
It's not.
It's not fair. So my next question, and Sukai, not to kill time, is as a woman, how did you used to juggle family life with your activities? Because now that you're retired, I understand. But before, I know it was not easy because you were into so many things. So we would like to know, the audience will be interested to know how you used to manage, how you used to do it. Family life together with what you were doing.
It was. And I was working.
Yes.
And in the beginning, I started as a journalist.
Okay.
And when I have to go to Parliament for their sittings, we'll be allowed to close at 2.
Okay.
Late swipe konate.
Okay.
Close at 2 o'clock, go home, you eat quickly, 4, you are back for Parliament. And then they would end around 9 o'clock. Luckily for me, I could take my kids to my mom, pick them up, and then go home. And the next morning, you drop them at school, go to work again, come back, and take care of them. It wasn't that easy.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy.
And the only time I used to concentrate in writing was weekends.
Only on weekends.
Only on weekends when the kids were young.
Yeah.
But the weekend, I used to be free because every Saturday, I take my kids and my sister's kids, I pick all of them after lunch, drop them at my mom's place, and then I pick them up again on Sunday.
Okay.
So I had time for myself
and
Saturday and Sunday evening. And we continued like that until they all finished with their common entrance. They all went through common entrance.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. Then they went to high school. And they used to just walk from their school to my mom's place at Fajara.
Yes.
And yes, it's walking distance. The school had their evening classes. And in the evening, you just look through their books and allow them to read and sleep.
And relax,
Yeah. So that was how we went. And alhamdulillah, I think Allah has been very kind to us.
Yeah.
They all did well, went to university and came back. And they all contribute
in the development of the country.
Yeah. In the development of the country and the development of the business.
Of the business.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good thing. It's like it's a family business.
It is a family business. Yeah.
Recently, I even saw one of your children that was graduating on the internet. Yes.
Yeah, my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did her PhD.
Her PhD, rather, her doctorate.
Yeah,
I saw it on the internet. That's a plus for you people.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to
Allah as well.
Yeah, that nurtured them to that level. In totality, how many books have you written, Auntie Sukai? Can you remember the number?
Yes, something like 20 textbooks.
20 textbooks.
And then we have 12 workbooks.
Okay.
We have 4 storybooks, all published. We have 1 storybook coming out later this year.
Okay.
And we have 2 more workbooks that we're working on.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, one thing we do, we just, when we write textbooks and workbooks, we look at the curriculum, the syllabus, and we tailor our questions based on the subjects.
On the subjects, yeah.
That children are being taught. And we don't decide on whether government buys them or they don't buy. But we can market them. People will look at them, and once they are satisfied, they come and buy our books.
They do. They
do. So
they do. We have a big private education system in the Gambia. So if the private sector is supporting you, then that means your books are doing good.
Yeah,
they're doing good.
Yeah. So I would want to, at this juncture, encourage any person who wants to write.
Yeah.
Go ahead and follow your passion.
Yeah.
But there is one thing that you should do. If you go into writing, make sure you take at least a course, the creative writing course, whether you want to do a certificate, a diploma, or a master's. You can do it online even. But try those courses. So that you are on the right path.
You're on the right path.
Yeah.
So that you know what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because from the information that I have of you, you've done your master's on creative writing.
Yeah, I did creative writing and new media.
Yeah. So.
And alhamdulillah. And I did some online with one of these German institutions that do online courses.
Okay.
Because it's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It is interesting and it adds value to what you're doing.
Towards your career.
So I encourage any young person, any person, if you want to write, go ahead. But make sure you do a course.
Training too.
Yeah, that will help you.
So that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're right. So because it's not just, writing does not just happen like that.
No.
Like you just write for public consumption and you don't even know whether it's okay or not.
Yeah.
So you have to be sure that what you're doing is the right thing that you're doing. Yeah. So my next question to you is, what do you think of the education system of the country? That is, if you had to ask a comparison between the time that you were in active service, because now that you're retired, and what you're seeing now, what comparison can you make of it?
There is one thing. I think we made an error.
Okay.
And that is, we have done away with any examination that will encourage people to excel.
You're right.
Now we have grade 3 and grade 5 national assessment tests.
NAT.
But even an adult goes through selection. If you are going for a job interview, you have to compete with somebody.
Yes. That's true.
And that competition helps you to excel.
You
do your best. You apply yourself. But watering down, common entrance, dividing it into grade 3 and 5, and you don't have to sit an exam to transit to a higher level.
There's no exam in 6 now.
That's an error.
It's a mass promotion that they do.
Just mass promotion.
And it's not helping.
It is not helping us.
You pass or fail, you're going to 7.
You go to 7. In Senegal, they have the BFM. They have exams.
And those things are still there.
They are still there.
They are still there.
They haven't changed.
They are not back. If you don't cross it, you're not going to university.
Exactly.
Yes,
I know BFM, that. The same.
If you don't do
so
back, you're
why
not going.
Are we constant? Recently, I saw that in one of the newspapers that Ministry of Basic Education intends to reduce the number of core subjects.
Oh my God!
At the basic education level.
Oh my God!
Why are we giving because it doesn't happen in public schools.
No, it doesn't.
In private schools.
No.
It's just the public schools.
That are doing
Why
that.
do you want to make things easy for them when life is not easy? It's a challenge that we all have to face and try to improve yourself.
You're right.
If you say that there is no competition, even in your religion, if you are a Muslim, you have to worship God.
Yes.
So that you go to Jannah.
Yes.
If you are a Christian, you go to church.
Yes.
You worship.
Yes.
So that you go to heaven.
Heaven, yes. Those are
those people who go against the tenets of every religion, they don't.
You have no hope.
Exactly.
You have no hope in going to Jannah.
Exactly.
Or to heaven.
So for us, the children in the public schools too, must try and work hard.
Yes.
Look at in Rwanda. Now there are few private schools. Most people are taking their children to public schools because of the quality
in the public schools.
The quality in the public schools.
It is beating the privates.
It is beating the private because the president makes sure that everything is quality
in the public schools.
Yeah. Wow. We shouldn't just sit back and say these children should have it easy. No, life is not
having
easy.
It easy. It's not solving anything.
Exactly.
And
then all of them
it makes them lazy.
They become lazy.
Yes.
When they finish, they don't have any qualifications to take them to senior secondary school, to university. And then we start having too many young people going the back way.
Going the back way. And doing nothing.
Doing nothing. Sitting down every day.
Yeah, doing nothing.
And giving their parents heartaches. I must go.
Yeah.
I must go.
Yeah, you have to do something for me.
Exactly.
Sell your land.
Sell your land.
Sell your this.
Sell your house.
Give me
sell your cattle.
If they even have access to your money, they can even steal it.
Yes, and go.
Yes.
I've seen, there was one gentleman we knew. He loaned his car to the son of a friend. The guy drove the vehicle until he went to Guinea-Bissau, left the vehicle there, and went back way. So, if the education sector doesn't, if that education system doesn't perform, and it fails us, we have a problem with our youth. And we don't want to...
the impact goes to the youth.
Exactly.
You're right.
And we don't want to come to a situation where all the youths have gone, only the elderly and the small children are here.
We should not even encourage
We
that.
shouldn't encourage it.
You're right. Making it easy for them is not helpful.
It is not helping
it's
us.
Not helpful. I had those thoughts when I saw this integrated book in the primary system. Because then when we were going to primary school, we did English, we did maths, science, and SCS.
Exactly.
And I heard they integrated science and SCS to be integrated studies to make it easy. And still now, as you were saying, they are trying to cut down the number of core subjects.
Exactly.
To make it cheaper. I don't just know why.
I don't understand.
They should revisit that.
They should.
It's not our call to talk about it, but then it's something that is of concern to all of us. Because making it easy for the kids will just make them more lazy. They're just lazy.
Lazy.
These kids of this generation, they don't want to do work. Not to talk of if you want to make it easy for them.
Exactly.
It's a problem.
It is.
It's a big problem.
A big issue.
Yeah. So that will make us jump to the next question. That is, what is your take on teachers quitting the teaching field for other areas? Because that is one menace that is the ministry is faced with. Teachers are just quitting.
Yeah.
Every day you hear teachers so and so has left the field. They are doing something else. They're into banking. They're into this. They're into that. So what do you think is the cause of that?
It is a matter of concern.
Yes, it is.
And I believe they should have. It used to be that we just seem to be going backwards. In maybe I shouldn't say, let's say during the time that Antares, Ndongjata, and Fatou Lamin Faye were Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, I believe there was respect for the teacher. Where they used to stand and look for lifts, they set up the cooperative credit union. Supported the Gambia Teachers Union to the level where teachers could buy motorbicycles, vehicles, build houses, get solar
They're giving
for their
lands
houses.
now on
Yeah.
loan.
Yeah.
They're giving them fridges on loan, laptops, mobile phones, tablets. I
And
know all that.
Alhamdulillah, that was because they have the Gambia Cooperative and
Yeah,
Credit Union. And there was a time that it was so buoyant. Everybody wanted to be. Even people who were not in the teaching field were members of the Cooperative Credit Union.
Yes. I know of people that are in GTU that are not teachers.
Exactly. But then suddenly you start having problems of, and I'm not criticizing the 27, 20, what did they call coalition 2016?
Yeah.
When they came to power
The new
in
government,
2017.
with our republic.
Yes, I believe that it's part of the Second Republic. I believe that they didn't give much emphasis to education, and that impacted on the retention of teachers. You start having problems with paying them salaries, paying them allowances. That shouldn't even occur.
That shouldn't be an issue.
Before that, teachers, they had started building quarters for teachers in hard hit areas.
Yeah.
Those remote places, they would have accommodation. But everything fizzled out. And you start having why should you stay if you cannot get your allowances? If your salary this month is you get it on the 26th, next month you get it on the 29th. Come on. You cannot treat change agents like that.
My mom will tell me in those days on the 18th salaries were paid.
Exactly.
That's what she used to tell me. Exactly. She told me in our time on the 18th, like they done pay salary. Why?
And you know, during the time when my mother was at the GTU, they were all exposed. Meetings the government will facilitate for them. They had exchanges with the Gambia teachers, with the Canadian Teachers Union.
Yeah.
Various.
Yes, you are right.
Various teachers union.
Yeah. I can remember my mom going to Scotland, UK for an exchange trip.
Yes, my mom went to Canada, various places. But all these have gone. And the only way you can retain your teachers is for them to enjoy the fringe benefits that others are enjoying in the public sector.
Okay.
If you allow teachers, even if they have to go to Sierra Leone, to Rwanda, within Africa, let them network.
Yes, networking is what is lacking.
Let them be exposed. Once you expose them, they won't go.
Yeah.
Because it would be the same as those people who are in the administration or elsewhere.
Yes.
But once you deprive them, you don't take them seriously, they would go elsewhere.
They will go.
And that is what we are seeing now.
Yeah.
The strikes,
they should try ways and means of retaining these teachers.
And it pains me to see them all the time talking about allowances, salaries.
It's the same
strike.
The strike, sit down strike.
For teachers.
Because of allowances are not paid. It's the same story that keeps repeating itself.
Come on, they should be respected. Yeah, maybe they say she taught once, she's in the sector, and that is why she. But teachers should be respected.
They deserve it. They deserve it.
They should be respected.
If you think of the impact they're making.
Exactly. We all used to be proud of saying hi to our teachers.
Wallahi.
You go into, there was somebody who saw me, I was boarding a vehicle, and he just said, General Essence. And he gave me $200. Oh. And I was so appreciative of it. Because this is somebody who said that
it's a teacher's pride to see.
Exactly. I impacted his life.
To see their ex-pupils excelling in other areas. You meet up in the streets and they're proud to show out to the people that this was my former teacher.
Exactly.
But then now,
it's about time the government,
to be a teacher is no longer respectable. Exactly. Because it's like, what do you want to do? Teaching. That's what they tell you.
Yeah.
What are you, a teacher?
You're the
likes of me, people will tell me, did you stop teaching? I tell them why. Because I dress different. I didn't stop teaching there. Me, I am just a different kind of teacher. Yeah. But I am still teaching. Yeah, so that's it. That respect that we deserve, we don't have it yet.
Exactly. We need to.
Yeah, we don't have it yet. Yeah. We need to see to it. Now, the next question is, if your voice was to make impact or change, what do you think the people in authority in the education department should focus on? I think you've already touched a bit of it, but
yes. One, they should look at quality
quality.
at the school level.
Okay.
And for that, there should be some amount of competition.
Yes.
Competition so that you excel. We
least.
just want people to excel.
To excel. To do well.
To do well. So that if you don't make sure you have good children to going past through the education system, you won't have teachers, good teachers, to come back.
You are right.
That's one.
Yeah.
Secondly, when I finished high school, at that time, the Ministry of Education, Teachers Union, they made sure they recruited people from high school. Once you finish, they come to you, and then you go for the UQ
I can
training
remember
program.
my dad taking in a lot of UQs from high school.
Yeah, I went there.
Yes.
Everybody used
and
to
those
look
UQs
forward.
were empowered to go to college and do an entry exam for college.
Exactly.
I can remember all those.
Exactly.
All those things happening.
Why? You know, what happens here is you abandon what is good and what is bad, and you start something new with has problems.
The new has issues.
Why can't they go back to that?
To the old.
And make sure that all
fine tune it and then try to make it work.
Exactly.
That's what we should do. You're
exactly.
Right. To revisit the old.
Many people.
Because it was very good. The education quality was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Because those days I can remember my dad narrating stories to me that in primary school, when you sit to the common entrance, you have an entry grade for secondary school and an entry grade for high school.
Yes.
And that's competitive.
It is.
You have to force yourself to go to high school.
Exactly.
To go to Armitage.
And that is all what gave you your knowledge, your mental power. You use that so that you can move forward.
Move forward.
Well, if
those
everything
days there was quality in the education.
Exactly. And I think
you don't just pass grade 12 and not even be able to write a letter.
And I think government should start examining what used to obtain and take what is good.
Yeah.
I know there are new things that come up in the education system.
Every day you're seeing new things.
Yeah, but make sure you mix the good, you mix the old and the new.
And
the good things in old and new.
Yeah.
And not just discard everything. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Right. You mix the two. You just don't add up to new things that you don't know whether they will work or not.
Exactly.
But you revisit the old that was working.
Exactly.
It was working for us.
Exactly.
Because in those days, you hardly see someone finish grade 12 and they cannot read.
Exactly.
You hardly see someone finish grade 12 and they cannot write letters.
Yeah. And you are a teacher. You've seen that.
I know.
Oh, it's terrible.
From experience.
Some of them, even 3 lines, there are mistakes.
Oh my God. It's a disaster. It's a problem. And they will tell you,
hey,
Madam Miss Nakala, English language is not our language.
Yeah, but it is the medium of instruction. It is the
This should be
official
part of
language.
You have been doing English language since nursery.
Exactly.
You want to tell me you cannot spell correct words. You cannot construct certain sentences.
And you don't want to know languages, yet you want to travel. You want to travel. You want to live in a different country from the Gambia, where there is progress.
Yes.
You want progress, and then you don't want progress for your country.
That's it.
That's why you don't want to apply yourself.
And that's a big question. You cannot want to go to progress when your country is not progressing.
Exactly.
So you need to advocate for the progress.
Now look at what is
in your own
happening.
country.
Look at what is happening.
I agree
Gambians who are in Germany are being deported.
Wallahi.
Every month you have people coming back.
They're coming
they
back.
are sending you back. They're sending you back to improve your own country.
Yes.
You must have
If you go to a point that a foreign country says we don't need you here, you should look into your own country.
You should.
Yes.
And we need to look at what we are doing.
That should be a concern for all of us. Where we go to a level where other countries, they say they don't need our people there. Then we should look into trying to improve our place.
And we can.
Yes.
This place is too small.
It's very small.
We can do it.
Yeah, Gambia is very small. It can be improved. You are right. You're right. What advice would you give to women folk who think it's impossible to do what Auntie Sukai does, or to be able to be like Auntie Sukai. You know, people think it's impossible for a woman to be like you or some other person that is doing well in the areas of academia and, let's say, education as a general area. People think women are meant to be people that are to be housewives, sit at home mom, and then do stuff that are not, because what we are doing, they think it's men that are supposed to do it. You know, that's a stereotype that surrounds what we're doing. I know what I am saying. Sometimes they ask me, what are you doing here? Like when I teach at Inside Training Center, that is a technical school, I teach their English, but people that don't know what I teach there, they see me there and they say, a woman teaching at Inside, what are you teaching there? Are you teaching them construction or I tell them, well, if I did construction, I would be proud to teach construction.
Of course.
I believe what a man can do, a woman can do. There isn't anything that is impossible. So what advice would you give to those women that think that a woman cannot do it?
For me, even if they say there is a glass ceiling, I see a hole through the glass ceiling that takes me to the sky. There is nothing that a human being cannot do.
Yes.
And there is nothing that a woman cannot do.
Yeah.
Because we all have been given intelligence.
So.
And we should use it. If a woman stays at home and only the man is working,
yeah,
there'll be a strain.
There will be.
In the household.
There will be. There must be.
You will want your child to go to school, have the books, go to studies, have access to computers, be able to use them to do their homework.
So.
And everything is money.
Very well.
If both of you come together, you go to work, you come back, you earn, both of you earn, you have more money to take care of the family.
Of your family, yeah.
That's one.
That's true.
Two, they say if you are lazy, if you don't use your mind, you get old quickly.
Quickly, you're right.
You have to use
your
right. mind.
Yes.
You have to be active.
Yes.
And once you are active, if your children don't see you sitting down all the time, they won't be lazy.
Yes, they won't be. Because you're serving as an example to them.
You are an example. Yes. Every parent is an example to the child.
It's a role model.
The mother,
you know
the father. We are the role models of our children.
Number one role model.
And if you want your child to perform in school, you have to perform in what you are doing.
Very well.
And you don't have to be just a cook.
Yeah.
And a housewife.
Yes.
You cannot. You don't have to be. We've seen women, they wake up very early to go to the market.
Wallahi.
They're working.
Wallahi.
They're working. But the problem is our contribution is not being recognized.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you look at this government, it's very unfortunate. They don't see women. They only see men. Anywhere you go.
Yeah.
If they give work if it is employment, if the government is supposed to choose people, for example, to go to Mecca, they would take more men than women.
More men than women. Always the equation is never balanced.
No.
It's never balanced.
They don't look at the demographics. They don't use that.
It's not. They take more men than women.
You look at cabinet, 3 women.
Yes.
Also. You go to some of these boards, no woman.
No, yes, we've seen that.
Or one woman.
Until they realize that there's a gender gap, then they say, let's put one woman there. Yeah. That's how they do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Just so that they know they see a woman in it.
But I think it's about time also. If you have 3 women, it is for them to sensitize the others, the men.
Yes.
In high positions. That outside we are part of the world.
We are. And we are a bigger part. And
anywhere in the world, they recognize women, the contribution of women.
They do. The contribution of women is very, very recognized.
And they should recognize the contribution of women in our society.
In our society, you're right.
Otherwise, we'll be left behind.
We will be. Because it's a problem. Women are doing wonders in the country.
Exactly.
They're doing very well.
And they're doing their thing.
In all the departments.
They work hard. Whether government recognizes them or not, you don't give a damn.
Thank you.
You just go ahead and do what you're doing.
Exactly. Whether they see it or not.
It's their business. We just move ahead.
Yes, that's my motive.
Yeah. And then you improve yourself.
What I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
And improve yourself.
Yes.
It's unfortunate you would have wanted to help improve your country. But if they don't want to see that, just improve yourself and your family and move forward.
Yeah. Because if you make the change in your family, you are doing it for the country.
Exactly. But it's very sad. It is sad that they don't know that God created man and woman so that
they can be partners.
They can be
partners in development. No one should be superior or inferior. We should all be partners.
Without the woman, you don't multiply.
Yes.
Without the man too, you don't multiply.
So it should be partners.
We should be partners. We shouldn't be left behind.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
That's very important. We are drawing to the tail end of the discussion, but there is a very important question that is left yet to be addressed. That is, as the saying goes, as I usually tell my mom, retired but not tired. After your retirement, what activities are you into now as a private? What are you into now, or what you're doing now as a private business? So I would like the public to know what you're up to now, so that they can know what you're up to, and there they can even have your contact and everything if they want to purchase your books.
Yes. Currently, I've been working on this book, By the Fireside. It's a big book.
Okay. By the Fireside.
By this Fireside. And it's a collection of stories.
Okay. There are such stories?
I have 16 stories there.
Wow. Okay. This is a big book.
It is a big book. Previously, we used to write stories, the folk tales, just as they narrate them, and they are very short.
They are.
They are very short. Now we have gone to the next step.
Okay.
We are not looking at Gambia. We are looking at the whole world. And you must determine, when we're writing, now we determine which level and the genre.
Okay.
And for this one, it's a literary fiction.
Okay.
It's for young adults, 12 to 18 years old. And if you're writing a book for young adults and you want it to be in the market, international market, the book shouldn't be less than 50,000 words. It should be between 50,000 words and 70,000 words.
Okay.
So we have gone further and ensured that we have stories to cover the genre.
Okay.
At the moment, we have more than 66,000 words in this one.
This is
huge. And
you've exceeded that number.
Yeah, and we are trying, apart from the fact that maybe it's our name, but it's Gambia as well.
Okay.
We're pushing for people to know. This is a country that depends on tourism.
Okay.
Let visitors, let other people know our folk tales, our culture, because each story, it depends on what it is narrating. We try to bring in our culture, our way of life, so that people will understand the Gambian. Where we have a story talking about two mates, a wife and a co-wife, then we bring in experiences in polygamy. Where we have a story about arranged marriage, we extend it to bring in stories. People we know, of course, but you give them different names.
Different names, yes.
So that it's an experience.
Yeah, it's an experience.
So this is how we've done it. For marriage, ordinary marriage, circumcision, Jola circumcision or Mandinka we make sure that we bring in background information so that the person reading it, not only do you want to get somebody to buy it, but when they open the book, they wouldn't want to put it down until they finish.
Yeah, until they finish it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something.
So that is where we are moving towards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good.
We just want to move forward and look beyond the Gambia.
Yeah. You're one person that can serve as a learning point for many, because for me, I am learning a lot from this conversation that we have.
Privately,
consultant.
When you are doing no, I don't have to. You don't have to pay me anything. But when you're doing your next storybook, just get in touch,
inshallah,
and then I can.
Yeah,
I'll show you the way you can go.
Yeah.
So let's all try to be small country, but reach outside. Yeah, and project the name of the country.
Yeah. That's true. So it's good that we have the likes of you that can guide the young on the right path as to what to do to make their lives better and to make the world better. Because if Gambia is out there in the globe for people to pinpoint that Sukai Mbye Bojang is a Gambian, you're selling the Gambian name outside.
Yes.
So, and we are proud of what you're doing. We are proud of Uncle Dembo, and we are proud of every other person that is making change and trying to make impact in the development of the country. What final remarks do you have to the viewers? And there, if you like, you can switch to the Wolof language. So, nga nuyu mbokk yi, mbokki Olof yi, ak ñu ñoo seetaan, ak ñu dégg Olof, ñu xam ne tey anti Sukai Mbye Bojang lañ fi am. Do jabari Dembo Fanta Bojang nekk na ko xam ne nag nekkut gan ci kenn ci Gambian bi. Even xale yi sax xam nañ ko. Soo ko xamu dégg nga ko. So tey jabari Uncle Dembo lañ fi am, anti Sukai Mbye Bojang. So am nañ waxtaan boo xam ne it's very very lengthy and it's very very educative. laal nañ yu bari so dama bëgg rek léegi moom tam wax ci Olof tuuti ñi nga xam ne ñu ñoo seetaan ñu xam lan lañ doon waxtaane.
Jërëjëf Raaki ñun yëfi binda books moom lañ doore te moom lañ xam te pare nañoo continuer di binda di teete koo xam ne bëgg nañu teete la waaye nag leena dama ko bëgg a wax dañ dee binda book bindal nañ suñ boppa yu bari waaye taxut ñeneen ñuy binda su ñëwee ci ñun mun nañ la koo seetal ñu edital la ko defal la proofreading defal la layout bi even designer la sa cover ba nga xam ne mun nga ko use dama leen bëgg a won benn book boo xam ne ñu ko jos pare bii bukki Dr. Francis Sarr la Dr. Francis Sarr mu ngi liggéey ci University of the Gambia lecturer la fa mu binda book on COVID-19 very educative ñun nag ñoo ko publishal bam ko bindee ñoo edit ñoo ko seetaat proofread yónnee nañ ko ci ñeneen ñu seetal ñu ko de ñu defal ko layout bi ak design bi
Masha Allah.
léegi African Book Collective ñu ngi ko def ci Amazon ak ci ñoom seen website ñu ngi seet nag promotion bi within the country naka lañ ko defee ndik foog nga market sa book tam waaw book bi doo ko mun a binda rek denca waaw foog nga génnee ko léegi nag ci yooyu la ñoo nekk di xalaat waaye li ñoo wax mooy mun nañ leen a jox services for the publishing ndik man suma creative writing and new media course ba defal naa jël naa si courses on publishing proofreading editing mun naa ko te suma buti baax na foog naa ne mun naa gis
tired but not tired
waaye itam I believe ne ñun lu ñoo def nañ leen ñu def rek mu baax
na baax rek
na baax
nañ def mu correct daal
na correct nga xam ne mun nañoo compete ak anybody
wow, in the world,
anywhere in the
around
world
the world, yeah.
loolu daal moom laa gis ne ñun writers and publishers in the Gambia man dama believe ne mun nañoo romba suñ dëkk bi
Okay.
mun nañoo romba suñ dëkk bi ba project suñ dëkk bi
Wow.
nañ leen ñu ànd rek
Okay.
ñu def loolu nañ romba dëkk bi
Wow.
nañ seet loo xam ne mun naa yokk suñ tur mu favorable
Wow.
in the international community
Okay.
loolu laa am pour wax maa ngi leen di wax nag jërëjëf Fine TV
Yeah.
ak
Viewers.
ak viewers yi pour ngeen li ngeen ñu dégloo
Wow.
di opportunity la pour ñu wone suñ liggéey du ñu bari ñoo ko dee def waaye rakki xalaat nañu ne xaaral ñu isiwaat fàttali Gambians ñoo xam ne yàgg nañ fi ne nelawuñ bàyyiwuñ ñu ngi continuer di def liñ leen war maa ngi leen di wax jërëjëf di hope ne di ñaan tam Fine TV ngeen naa dem ci kanam
Amiin yaa
yéen ñëpp gis leen ñëpp xam leen
Amiin yaa rabbi.
doori ni lu nekk nag
Daf
dee yéex dafa metti waaye man I believe ne soo persevere
Yeah.
di nga sori
Nga sori kay.
bu leen ever discourage
Déedéet duñ discourage soobee yàlla.
thank you very much
Jërëjëf yaa booy anti Sukai.
thank you very much
Kontaan nañ si ñëw bi ñun tamit we take pride in you people. Dañ kontaan am mbégte moo tax ma ne lii moom foog ñu boole si gars yi rek parce que fàttaliku dafa am solo comme noo ko waxee rek soo xamul foo jëm nga dellu foo jógee moo gën te ne maa gisee affaire si doon demee but it's high time we revisit the old and see what has been going on and it was working for us. You try to implement change through those people. So viewers, we've come to the tail end of your program, Issues on Educational Development, on your favorite TV, Fine TV, Gambia, your only viewpoint, and I've been your host, Raki Jallo. And I hosted Auntie Sukai Mbye Bojang of Dembo Fanta Bojang. It's good that we add his name there so that he feels that we are proud of him too. Till we come your way some other time, it's a goodbye from us.